Three Men in a Boat by Chatham K. Chatham. The next day, which was Friday, we got them all together and met in the evening to pack. We got a big Gladstone for the clothes and a couple of hampers for the victuals and the cooking utensils. I said I'd pack. I rather pride myself on my packing. Packing is one of those many things that I feel I know more about than any other person living. I impressed the fact upon George and Harris and told them that they had better leave the whole matter entirely to me. They fell into the suggestion with a readiness that had something uncanny about it. George put on a pipe and spread himself over the easy chair, and Harris cocked his legs on the table and lit a cigar. This was hardly what I intended. What I had meant, of course, was that I should boss the job, and that Harris and George should both under my directions. I pushing them aside every now and then with, "Oh, you! Here, let me do it! There you are, simple enough!" Really teaching them, as you might say. Their taking it in the way they did irritated me. There's nothing that irritates me more than seeing other people sitting about doing nothing when I'm working. However, I did not say anything but started the packing. It seemed a longer job than I had thought it was going to be, but I got the bag finished at last and I sat on it and strapped it. "Ain't you going to put the boots in?" said Harris. And I looked round and found I had forgotten them. It's just like Harris. He couldn't have said a word until I got the bag shut and strapped, of course. I opened it and put the boots in. And then, just as I was going to close it, a horrible idea occurred to me. Had I packed my toothbrush? I don't know how it is, but I never know whether I packed my toothbrush. My toothbrush is a thing that haunts me when I'm traveling and makes my life a misery. I dream that I haven't packed it, and I wake up in cold perspiration and get out of bed and hunt for it. And in the morning, I pack it before I have used it, and have to unpack again to get it, and it is always the last thing I get out of my bag. And then I repack and forget it. I have to rush upstairs at the last moment and carry it to the railway station wrapped up in my pocket handkerchief. Of course, I had to turn every mortal thing out now, and of course I could not find it. I rummaged the things up into much the same state that they have been before the world was created. And I put the things back one by one and then found it in my boot. George asked if the soap was in. I didn't care a hang if the soap was in or whether it wasn't. Harris said that we should be wanting to start in less than 12 hours' time, and that he and George should better do the rest. I agreed and sat down, and they had a go. They started in a light-hearted spirit, intending to show me how to do it. I made no comment, I only waited. When Harris is hanged, George will be the worst speaker in this world. And I looked at all these piles of plates and cups and kettles and jugs and boils and cakes and stoves and tomatoes and found that the thing would soon become exciting. It did. They're starting with breaking a cup. It was the first thing they did. Then they put a strawberry jam on top of a tomato and squashed it and had to pick it up with a teaspoon. I didn't say anything. I just came over and sat on the edge of the table and watched them. It irritated them more than anything I could have said. I felt it. They were nervous and excited, and they stepped on things and put things behind them and then couldn't find them when they need them. And they also put the pies and put their things on them and smashed them in. Montmorency wasn't all. He was sure that when George or Harris reached out their hand for anything, it was his cold damp nose that they wanted. He pretended to kill 3 of the lemons because they were rats, and it was before Harris could land him with a friend ban. He said I encouraged him, but I didn't encourage him. A dog like that didn't need any encouragement. The packing was done at 12.50. Harris said that he sure that anything would be found broken. George said that if anything was broken, it was broken, which reflection pretended to comfort him. We were all ready to bed and Harris was going to stay with us, and we went upstairs.